Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow
here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out New Cat Body by Jeremy Campbell.
More fight, more heart, more grit. It takes more. Those are the words on the front of Ford Field at Gate A over the entrance. And they mean everything to this team. With a statement from the NFL, Jameson, right after it happened, he told the team about it. The Lions immediately told the NFL about it. They have not issued a statement until any news was released about this. And I'm not going to go into it any more than this. The NFL has stated the Lions notified us about the situation and we will not comment on the matter. So in other words, they're letting due process play out. Therefore, so should all of us fans, all of the media, and everyone else, instead of painting it like it's just Jameson did wrong, because we don't know. And it hasn't been a warrant has been issued. First and foremost, it's a review to see if a warrant should be issued. So until they do it, it's not worth mentioning anymore. And I'm not going to talk about it every day again. I'm not going to bring it up again, except it is NFL news, so it will be mentioned again tonight on the NFL show, because it is NFL news, because I want to get everybody's take. And I'm also going to release that statement from the NFL itself. So the fact that the Lions are not covering up, the NFL's not covering up, what were the cops covering up that Internal Affairs 3 weeks later is finally reviewing if a warrant should be issued? Mozzie Smith, the warrant happened immediately, Orlando. It's a totally different situation. It doesn't remind me at all of Mozzie Smith. So that's where I'm at on that. It's time to focus on this game. Let's talk about the offensive rankings in the NFL, because that's what we got in front of us. We got the Packers. They're averaging 13.5 yards more than us per game. No, not even. Excuse me, I read that wrong. They're averaging 2.9 yards per game. So I'd say that's a wash. They're a little better in the passing game. We're a little better in the rushing game overall. It looks like. I don't know how we can be that close. Oh, it's because we average 156.7 yards per game. They average 156.9. Yeah, because I had to get this show ready. I had to change. I was sweating in the sweatshirt. Uh, I wanted something that matched. How'd I do? So, yes, that's awesome. That is awesome. I love it. So there's not much of a difference there. Where there is a difference is scoring. Let's go to points per game. Detroit is fourth with 33.4. Green Bay is sixth with 27. So th- that's 6.4 points. So that means we're averaging a touchdown better per game so far this season. I love this old logo. And everybody can clown me that it looks like an anorexic lion or anything else. Wouldn't an anorexic lion be hungry for first and foremost? And number two, this was the logo when we were the most dominant in the NFL prior to the merger. So I love that. That's why I bought that alternate helmet that sits right here to sit on my mantle here. I did that because I love it. It was by far one of my favorite ones. Now I do love the new black lion look. Don't get me wrong. I've been saying we needed a black lion or something different than bubble for years because it would have tied in the old black jerseys back then, even when we were a bad team. So now let's go to defenses. Houston is still the number one defense. Green Bay is one, two, three, four, 5 spots ahead of us. Bullshit. All time greatest logo. Oh, yeah. I understand, just like we have been doing. We need to do everything we've been doing ever since that loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But yards against per game, they're at 327.4. We're at 439. Points per game against, right? Lions are seventh in the NFL at 19.1. At 10th is Green Bay, 20.9. Guess who's right behind at 8? 19.6. I want to see it. Turnovers. Detroit is second best in turnover differential in the NFL at 10. Green Bay is fourth at +7. So both teams are creating turnovers. Interceptions, Minnesota has the most turnovers in the league at 12. But the Lions, Green Bay, New Orleans, Pitt, and San Francisco are all tied at 10. Fumbles caused. Green Bay leads the league in 9. But their total is 19, but their turnover differential is less. Why? Because Love has 9 interceptions already, and they have some fumbles thanks to Iffy and 100%. But somebody else had some interceptions in there too. Oh yeah, Trevor Nowaski has one in his third game played. 3 games, 3 impactful plays. Tell me that wasn't impactful. Giveaways, leading the league in giveaways is Carolina, then Las Vegas, then Tennessee, then Dallas, then Green Bay. At the other end of the spectrum, Buffalo's given it away once, Chargers once, Pittsburgh once, Baltimore 2, Washington 2, Arizona 3, Cincinnati 3, New England 3, Detroit at 4. Yes, 100%. I agree. Fumbles. We've had one fumble and 4 interceptions, so 5. That's why our turnover differential is so good. We've only given the ball away 5 times, right? Jordan Love has 9 interceptions himself, and Josh Jacobs has 3 fumbles himself. We lead the league in fumbles given up, only 1, tied with Washington. Yeah, that is a fun stat. And I said it's probably going to be a 2-point game, just like that Minnesota game. Because both teams are pretty much, if you listen to what I'm saying, is they're evenly matched. Both defenses are opportunistic with their turnovers. Both offenses are opportunistic when they can score. But it looks like, according to what I'm reading, 55 degrees and rainy for the game. Uh, I don't trust any weather report this far out because they're usually wrong. Um, yeah, what if we have a game like last week where our special team sets us up so we're on a short field? We end up only having like 300 yards of total offense, but we got 6 touchdowns. Because that's what we did. We had 330 total yards of offense. Our defense right now is giving up a ton of yards. I'm not lying. We know this. They give it up between the 20 and they clamp down in the red zone. We've been stingy in the red zone. Special teams. We're number 1 in the league on kickoffs. The average start is 30. We're the worst in the league. We're at 32nd. The average start for other teams is 35.5. Average punt in the league, we're 3rd. Longest punt of the season, Jacksonville has a punter who kicked it 96 yards, and Detroit has a 90-yard punt return. Well, that's returning averages. It's not talking about. Oh, okay. So we're number 1 in average kick return, and we're number 3 in average punt return. So it's not doing the stats as far as all that. Now, offense. Right. Bend, don't break. Yeah, and that's what we have to do because we don't have that elite pass rusher. And Stats Inc. has us with 22 pressures total. The leader was that practice squad guy. No, Jeremy Ballrick Jr. I no. Yeah, Leaf is doing work in special teams. He's our punt returner. Our kick returner for the most part is Dorsey and Vaki. And I think they've had one other guy back there, but I don't remember who. I think Williams was back there this week a couple times. So, and I'm talking about Isaiah. But this matchup looks like it's going to be one hell of a game. And much like the Minnesota game, I think it comes out. Hey, Jeremy, out running errands, listening in. I still think it's going to come down to special teams. And right now, we got one of the best special teams in the league. Hands down. Our return game is special. Okay. In the red zone. Let's go there. I want to look this up. There's rushing, blah, 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 blah. Scoring defense. We already talked about that. The number 1 zone. Oh, worst red zone defense. Oh, touchdown rate. Okay. I want to see where we rank. Right now, the Lions sit alone at 9th in red zone defense with a 47.4% scoring against. And most of those happened the first 2 weeks and in the first 3 weeks, if I remember right. The Packers are 20th at 60.7. So if you get to the red zone 6 out of 10 times, you're going to score. Vikings are at 61.9. Jamo for prison 2024. Oh, that's great. Go ahead, troll Ken the Bear fan. I know who you are. Nope, I'm good. I got my own. I'm drinking coffee. Mm. This week it has been, for the last 2 weeks, it's been sweetened. Titans chat was calling it the Khalif Raymond revenge game. I love it. That's awesome. Monkey words. Grab that shit up. I never cursed any of my physically born children that I know of with the name Jeremy Ballrick Jr. People. My life has been good and bad at the same time. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I've done bad things in my life, and I've done a lot of good things. I've had a lot of great things happen. I've had a lot of bad things happen. Third down defense. Guess who's number one in the league in third down defense? The Lions, 30.7%. Guess who's ninth? The Packers, 33. The Bears are sitting at 32-3, tied for sixth. The second best red zone defense is the Dolphins, surprisingly. The Titans are fourth. The Browns are third. The Giants are sixth. The Texans are eighth. The 11th is the Steelers. The 12th is the Chiefs. Jets are the 13th, yet they can't win. The NFL released a statement, and they're basically saying they're going to let due process play out. They refuse to make a comment at this time because at the time of the matter, the Lions notified. It is the duality of a man. I understand that, Joseph. I still think this is going to come down to who has the possession last, and it might come down to a 50-plus yard field goal. And guess what? Both teams are going to trust their kickers. You know why? Because Brandon McManus has made plenty of 50-plus yard field goals, and Jake Bates has made them here too. He's got a long of 54. We got 51 and 52 in his bag now, and he's 11 of 11. Congratulations! They came back to beat the Jaguars. Great job. You beat a two-win team. When you face the undefeated Vikings, they were mollywopping you, and if they never went in the prevent defense, you probably wouldn't have been close. They don't. It's not seeking a warrant. That's where you're wrong. They requested a review to see if a warrant can be given. There's a big difference, and I think it's a wag the dog. I just do because internal affairs was involved before anything, and it's been involved since the incident happened, evidently. So something's going on procedurally because internal affairs does not get involved unless there's something wrong procedurally. Do we know what? Nope. And it's unfair to assume so. That is pointing fingers. Unless you're taking advantage of somebody that's in the spotlight for something negative that happened and you're trying to take the attention off the police, there's that theory too. Yes, I hope Dan lets our kicker try a really long one this year too. 100%. Do you know who has the worst third down percentage? Timing. What you don't know if he bought the gun that day, Orlando, is what I'm getting at. You don't know if he bought it a week ago or whatever. And during the season and during the off season, you don't have a lot of free time once camp starts. Nor does yours because you don't know. But the worst third down defense in the NFL is the Cardinals, then it's the Panthers, then it's the Falcons, then it's the Ravens, then it's the Patriots, then it's the Bengals. All of those are above 40%. The 49ers, the Jaguars, the Colts, the Commanders. You don't get to under 30% till the 22nd defense, which is the Bills, then it's the Seahawks, then it's the Bucks, then it's the Eagles, then it's the Saints. The only one even close to being less than 30% is the Lions and Dolphins. I'll agree to disagree for now, Ken. There's been no warrant issued. Until a warrant is issued, you can't say they're looking to serve a warrant. After the warrant's issued, I bet you he turns himself in because he's been upfront about the whole thing the entire damn time. At the end of the day, I kind of agree with Joe. If anything's going to happen, it's going to be a civil citation. He'll pay a ticket for a civil infraction, not do any time, and maybe do some community service. I'm almost willing to guarantee. At the same time, what happened to Ricky Pearsall without a gun in San Francisco? So there is that argument too. And San Francisco's not as bad as Detroit for crime. So the Lions have given up 14 touchdowns all season. I have no idea. I don't even have access to that picture anymore. So I don't know what account he has access to. And I'll agree to disagree for now. And I said I was done talking about it. So drop it. I'm done. Let due process play out. Don't assume anything. They've known about it for 3 weeks and there hasn't been a warrant. That's the crazy thing to me. The Packers have given up 20 touchdowns. The Vikings have given up 17. The Bears are fourth. They've given up 11 touchdowns this year. The defense is great. We've all said that. That being said, I'm focusing on War Week because I made my statement at the beginning and I left it at that. And if the NFL is letting due process play out and not making comments, the Lions are letting due process play out, make comments. Nor should any of us that are fans of teams be making comments, is what I said. And I'm done with it. Because until it plays out, we don't know what's going on. Go to offensive efficiency stats because I love that stuff. Here we go. Team red zone scoring percentages. Baltimore's at 75.6. Chicago's at 68.4. So they do score when they get there. Tampa is at 67.7. Cincinnati's at 66.6. Detroit is at 65.5. Minnesota 65.5. Cleveland at 61.4. Houston's at 61.5. Uh, Arizona 59. Carolina 57.8. Tied with them is Seattle. Denver at 57.6. Las Vegas at 57. New York Jets at 56. Jacksonville at 55%, Tennessee at 55%, Indianapolis at almost 54, and tied with the Rams and Philly, 52% for Atlanta. Boy, I'm going way down here. Oh, Green Bay is tied for 25th at 50%. So I already, because I discussed it 25 minutes ago. I discussed it at the top of the hour, and I'm done with the situation. Until due process has been played out, I'm not talking about it anymore, is what I said. I'm talking about the game we got upcoming this week. If you don't want to be a part of that conversation, please see your way out. Everybody, I don't care. So the Lions are seventh in the NFL at 66.52% efficiency. In their last three, they have been 81.8%. Green Bay has been at 33% scoring in the last three games. Because I had an update to give. I had an update to give. I gave the same update at the top of the hour and discussed it then. And that's what I said. And I'm on to the game. So go ahead and talk about it if you want in the comments. I just have nothing more to say. I didn't hijack the entire morning show. I came in for 15 minutes because I had an update. I came in and I gave an update. And I spent like the first 15 minutes talking about Jamo, and I was done with it, and I moved on to the game. So if you want to talk about the game between Green Bay and Chicago, oh, that's fine. Yep, they are coming against a well-oiled machine. That's what I'm looking at. We are way more efficient off. No, I left at I came in at 11:28 and I left at 11:45. And I didn't speak for the first 2 minutes, so it was 15 minutes. And the first thing I talked about was happy birthday to Robert. No, I'm not missing the point. I said exactly what I said, and I listened to you talk for 10 minutes of it. So I am not missing the point. This is my show. Don't like it. See your way out. I understand that, but I got to talk for 5 minutes of that time. That's it. That's all I took of your time. Both teams have great players. I'm not going to say that. The I think it's going to come down to who has the time. Not even time of possession because we score. We've shown we can score fast. It's going to come down to red zone efficiency, and right now the Lions have better red zone efficiency than the Packers. They're at 33% over their last 3 games. We're scoring at an 85% clip in the red zone. So if they stop us from getting there, that's how they'll beat us. It is being said on Twitter by Ken the Bear fan. It is coming up. It's Ken Doby, and I'm done. I'll just ignore it from here on out. He got his 5 minutes. I'm done. That's all I got on his show. Um, I entered through the chat where you put the link. I guess that's not allowed anymore, so I guess don't send it to the chat or kick me out of it. Because the invite is to fans of every team, and if they've got something to say about their team, they usually can say it. I thought that's how that premise worked, is what you said when you started it. So I don't know. I guess I'm wrong. I apologize. Nope. I it's fine. Don't worry. Don't come on tonight then, please. Well, if you didn't want me to talk about it, you shouldn't say, "Oh, what did Jamo do now?" That gave me a chance to speak on it, and while I was speaking on it, you butted in repeatedly, and then you get mad at me for doing the same thing to you when I wasn't done talking. But that's okay. I get it. I won't come on your show, don't come on mine. I will never come on your show again. Don't worry about it. I won't be there. Who do we have for edge rushing? Pretty much the same. Pascal's supposed to be back. We got um, El Kadeen Muhammad, Josh Pascal, Levi Amuzariki, DJ Reader, Ali McNeil. Pascal's supposed to be back this week. Um, Mitchell Agood, Isaac Ukwu, Mikai Wingo. Until somebody stops this well-oiled machine, I don't see us losing. I'll leave it at that. And I'm going to write my article that way. I think it's going to come down. It's almost going to be the exact same score as it was in Minnesota. No, that's okay. It's not. It's their show. Let them do what they want. Yeah, YouTube gets funny at times with the comments. I appreciate you viewing. Make sure you throw a like out there, whatever platform you're on, whoever you are. Because it helps the algorithm with every metric. Likes, comments, all of it counts. In the lifetime of my show, I am approaching 1,000,000. I agree. I do think it'll be tight and the Lions pull away later in the game. Yes, they can. I don't know why they don't comment. Well, I don't see a lot of people on X commenting for some reason, but I see a lot of viewers there. Most of them are Viking Rob's viewers. There's 9 from your page. There's 2 from Bill the Packer fan. There's 26 from Vikings Rock BWO. I have 9 people on my channel and 1 on the Huddle Sports Network. And I know Yoli's working right now. Have good, Yoli. And it's funny how much our defensive penalties have reduced over the last couple of weeks. There's still a few mental errors, and I see that, and it's crazy. Other teams are going to find out. Yep, okay. There's a Smithy, that there was another comment. We have 52 viewers right now. Yeah, that's pretty good. I can see us coming out of the gate hot. Dan Campbell has something to prove. You know, yes and no. Ben Johnson does run the offense. Dave Bipp runs the secondary. Dan Campbell runs the team, and Aaron Glenn runs the defense. And everybody keeps saying, "How are you going to manufacture pressure?" But yet, I hear you there, Fred. I get it. Um, how are we going to manufacture pressure? But if you look at the 2 weeks after Hutchinson, and I'm just going to say this now, even though it don't look the same, it's not as pretty. We're seeing more coverage sacks. That's because the secondary is improving people. So if the secondary is improving and we're getting coverage sacks now, which was something we're not used to here. We're one of the top teams for turnover differential in the league. We're not giving away a lot and we're taking away a lot. So I think we're going to be fine. I do think they need to add somebody at the deadline. So I want to get it where it said lifetime. I can't get that. So oh, I probably have to do it here on there when I get done. But what an amazing run we're on at 6-1. Uh, everybody said, "Oh, coming out of the bye week, got to watch out for Dallas." We ran the score up on them so bad, and they didn't know what hit them. And say what you want, we took out our starters in the first quarter and still held them to only a field goal. So I was actually pretty impressed by that. But 3 games, 3 impactful plays from Nowoski. I think he should be our starting Sam linebacker, 100%. He has an interception and 2 sacks on the season in 3 games, and I think it was said like 42 snaps. And we trust of our staff. It's not broken. We don't fix it. I understand that. Yep. So I'm looking. Trevor Nowoski has had 90 snaps, only 18% of the defense. Any word on Goff's ankle? He's fine. He just tweaked it a little. But he's played 51% of all special team snaps up to this point. And I think that's the transition from special teams to defense now, since they finally gave him his shot and he's shining. So where did Trevor go? He went to SVSU. And in high school, he went to West Canton High School, where he was second team All State. At SVSU, he earned second team All GLIAC honors the year before he graduated. The year he had Wingo does not really have the lateral agility. Um, just from what I've seen, he's better at as a backup defensive tackle. Hopefully, Broderick Martin ends up a go by the end of the week because I would like to see him in there because that'd be another big body. We never released him. He was poached by the Arizona Cardinals last year off of our practice squad. He was never released. He went there and was a starter last year. Let me get his stats up from last season. So far, he has 8 tackles, 6 solo, 2 assisted, one, 2 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits, and 1 sack, or 2 sacks with an interception. With the Cardinals, because he was there the last 3 games of the season. Um, he had 2 sacks. And he had a solo tackle percent, and then they inactive. He played 19% in the special teams, and he played 20% defensive snaps. But this year, he's having a great year. He got 8 yards on that interception. Yeah, Khalif Raymond Player of the Week. I think Gibbs is up for the FedEx Ground Player of the Week. Um, we knew Goff wasn't getting on there for the Air Player of the Week. The 3 touchdowns is impressive, but 85 yards doesn't cut their mustard. Nor does 12 of 15, even though it's very good. 75%, I think that is. Is that right? No, it's 4/5. It's 80%. A lot of Arizona fans were mad that we poached him back off of their waiver wire. They wanted him back on their practice squad so they could call him up as necessary. Because Cardinals was trying to do what Dan Campbell's doing. There's a reason we've kept 52 men on their roster because then we can call up a player to be active, sign him to the active roster for that one week, and then put him on waivers the next week and most of them have came right back to the practice squad. I mean, Khalif Raymond was 100%. So, if you were able to get Arden Key for a seventh round pick, would you take it? It is the Khalif time. And I said Khalif was going to step up. And Joseph Austin and I have all said we were a Khalif Raymond away from a Super Bowl. Remember, he was inactive the entire playoffs due to an injury. If he'd have been in there, it would have been much better. It's tonight at 9 p.m. And because I'm here, I'm going to do starting next week for the month of November. I'm going to put the pick'ems into the community post of my channel so people can have their own and keep track and post a screenshot every week after you make your picks in there. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm doing a contest. At the end of the month, whoever has the most correct picks, and you have to play at least 3 of the 4 weeks to qualify, is going to get a custom jersey of their choice, regardless of team you follow. Because I do have followers of other teams. So for those of you on the other platforms, make sure you go over to Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. By the way, I went 14-2 last week. 14-2. You know who I got wrong? I wanted the Bengals to beat the Sheagles. And I think um there is a Detroit Lions. I think it was called the Honolulu Blue Report or something like that. And there's Detroit Lions groups all over there. I would sure jump for a seventh for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think for a seventh rounder, it'd be fine because he is inconsistent, but he's good enough to be on our roster. That's what I'm getting at. Um, just throwing hypotheticals out there. But I don't think anything's going to get done till next Monday or Tuesday, anyway, because while two teams are active in games on Sunday, there's no trades allowed. And the only teams that can't trade on Monday is anybody that has a Monday night football game. So I should really look to see what the pick'ems are, what the pick'em sheets look like for this week. 'Cause that's coming up. It's getting close to one of my favorite times of the show. Last 3 weeks, I am 33-11, but I wouldn't put money on it. I'm not sure how to do it. No, I'm not asking anybody to put money on it. I'm saying I had an anonymous donor and donated, and for the Pick'em show to increase it, if you guys either submit to me, some of you have me on Messenger, some of you have me on the various groups that I'm in for the Lions, and some follow the Lions podcast page on Facebook, which is of the same show, Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. But yeah, it is that time of the show. We're gonna start it from the bottom. Fuck the Bears. 4-3 in last place in the division. FTP. Fuck the Packers. Oh wait, they're not there. Oops. They got skull fucked 2 times in a row, and they're in third place at 5-2. I forgot. Ooh, because they have 6 wins now because they beat the Jags at the end of the game. And in first place, and still kings of the North, the mighty Lions. Um, so we're an afternoon game at 4:25. There is another game at the same time, so I guess we're not the talk of the nation. I think we're the nation's game on Fox, but the Sunday night game is Indy at Minnesota. The Monday night game is Tampa at Kansas City. But the other game at 4:25 is LA Rams at Seattle. The teams on buys this week are Pittsburgh and San Francisco, so they could fall to third place this week if the Rams win. And that would put Seattle down at the bottom. Yes, love it, JB. You know, unfortunately, I will say Dan Leonard does have a life. He's married, he has 5 kids. He's a busy man, even though he isn't working because of his shoulder right now. It is what it is. Yep. That's how you get strike. It's iron on iron. Is it game time for Jordan Love to play? Yes, Jordan Love is playing according to reports out of there. Jair Alexander is out. Oh God, we got garbage game 2.0 this year. New Orleans at Carolina. I don't even know who to pick in that game. I don't know who to pick for a winner because neither team can win lately. I'm gonna skip it. Jacksonville at Philly. Chicago at Arizona. That's gonna be a good game despite what anybody thinks. Both deep. JB, you mean someone loves VD? That's crazy. It goes to show that there's someone for everyone. Love you, VD. We have the second hardest schedule. Um, the Bears have a hard schedule coming up. The Packers have a hard. You know why? Because nobody's played anybody in the division, and we got a lot of good teams coming up. So does Jacksonville rebound and beat the Eagles at home? Jesus, there's some good matchups. Yep, we're not scared of any team. We're gonna go in there and punch them in the mouth. That's what we do. Well, I want to wish everybody a great day. I do have to talk about my sponsor, All Grit, Never Back Down, 100%. Brandon Service at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road, 602 West Atherton Road. Where? In Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Stop in and check us out. Used tires starting at $45 and up. New tires. Call to get your quote, 810-233-8230. Talk to George, Red, or if you're calling on a Saturday, talk to me because we will get your quote. New tires are delivered within 1 to 2 business days, so that means no deliveries on the weekend. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat, even you, Ken the Bear fan. Love all you guys. Tune in later tonight as we do the NFL Roundtable Talk.